called basically no matter what you bet with that combo. Okay, this one kind of beats that theory. I mean, that one you're obviously doing something completely different than with your other value hands. This one the guy can't call. That one you're probably going to get fold. I mean, you got a call here, like that would be expected. That's so wild, that guy hit 6 high there somehow. Okay, so the bet sizing's been fairly consistent in these spots. That was one of the hypotheses, was this. I just thought it was really weird that all your bluffs managed to get caught. But like, if you look at your value bets, like they're getting folded to enough. So my suspicion is something else is going on there. I just don't know what it is.
Were they just getting lucky or something? I don't know.
Yeah, or we're not picking the right player type. Maybe it's because kind of that bet size was designed against kind of a big recreational player type, and I'm wondering if it got deployed against some players who are more pro-like. And the pros start to get really call happy in those spots because lots of people overbluff them. And so we kind of had, I mean, I guess there was two thoughts, and this is a little bit off topic, which was, why isn't there any top pair in that value betting range? I mean, isn't this kind of an interesting distribution? Like, you know, yeah, on the river. Like, you really don't have a ton of top pair that's betting on that node. And I thought that was kind of odd. To me, it means you need to check it back more.
Oh, on the turn.
On the turn, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess kind of the secondary thing there is that those hands look like they'd really benefit. Top pair looks like it would really benefit.
Checking back the turn more.
Really benefit because they keep hero calling you. So, I mean, if you're getting called by ace high consistently in those spots, like it seems like top pair would be very beneficial to check back and get those calls from. And so that would be I guess that was the thought. And then the secondary thought is that, you know, bluffs need to be better targeted toward obvious fish. Recreationals. Because some of those calls look like they're being done by pros. Like, I think both of those ace high hands were called by pros, most likely. Okay.
Back in my day, we didn't bluff recreationals. So I'm still getting used to bluffing recreational players more.
I mean, for me, it wasn't. I need to be really careful here, Eric, because I don't want you to go blindly bluffing these guys. It was just the data really heavily supports when they check call flop, it goes check on turn, they check river.
Yeah.
Recreationals overfold.
Yeah, you've told me that about 10,000 times.
I know. I just need to be very clear on because when I listen to your words on this, it's like I shouldn't bluff Rex, and I'm like, it's very specific positionally. I don't want it bigger than that. I want it in one little teeny tiny spot.
Yeah.
Not a broader statement. A very narrow statement. So let's keep it narrow. And I suspect we could go through the database and show up with some of these.
Also, like, I remember another example. Maybe it's not even true from when I used to play a long time ago, but the bet check bet line used to just always be a hand, and now apparently it's never a hand. It's like always a bluff when they miss a bet on the turn and then bet the river.
Yeah, so what happened is that there was a whole bunch of honest pros who people got suspicious there. They'd look you up, and so there's a whole bunch of pros who just stopped bluffing those notes.
And then so everybody started folding, and then now everybody started bluffing again.
Yeah, and you can see here, like, from your data, like, basically, if they don't bet 3/4 pot here, you need to call. And maybe it's even like wilder than that if you pull this out.
If when they do the bet check bet, if they bet like more than 2/3. Oh wait, wasn't it like 2/3 was a bluff and 3/4 was
Well,
value?
it was more value heavy. But if you look at your data here from your, and maybe we need to pull the field so I'm not over biasing this for some way. Here's the field. Here's the razor in position. Here's when he goes bet, check, bet. The interpretation on this would be as if they don't bet 3/4 pot, then we should 3/4 to full pot, it looks like. We should call all bluff catchers. And if they bet 3/4 to full pot, we should always call second pair better. And that's what the data says here. So if you look, I mean, the half pot sizing is getting bluffed 35% of the time. And so, I mean, these are really, really easy calls with ace high. So this guy goes in here and he bets 5. It's a really easy call with ace high. This one, I would argue you probably just straight up missed a bluff here.
We check called. Check.
Yeah. That's okay. It happens. We just want to make sure we don't do it again.
I mean, I'm just
minimize the number of these.
I don't know if it's just me and like when there's missed flush draws, I never want to bluff because it just always looks like it's easy to call.
I mean, GTO here
bad.
basically just says that there's some threshold that's profitable to bluff. And I mean, given the fact you're mainly playing a bunch of bots, I'm going to assume that's probably true. So basically, there's the threshold.
The old threshold.
Yep. Over here it's minus EV bluffs. Over here it's plus EV bluffs. So, I mean, just looking at this board, Eric, like what's our threshold? What's the threshold bluff here?
Maybe this is exactly threshold bluff.
Truthfully, I would eat a hand. I would eat my hand if that was true.
The ace high is going to be too strong, right?
I think I think low ace highs are likely the threshold bluff here.
You think so? Okay.
I mean, and this is the
So, like,
this is the glory of
hearts.
GTO Wizard, right? Is I don't have to spend 20 minutes doing the sim. I can just go look. And so it's really easy to counterfactual this after your session and go, geez, I missed that bluff. I wonder if I should have bluffed there. And I guess what was his sizing on flop? Probably something absurd, like 3.
And the other thing is bluffing less on paired boards too is something that could be going on there.
Yeah, I mean, that's not unreasonable. We're just trying to find the threshold. That's where we're at.
We want to know what is the threshold?
What is the threshold? That's the question. Okay, so apparently you're right. This combo is actually on the threshold. It's kind of amazing, honestly. Do we like check call this river then?
I don't think so. So let's find out.
He bets 3.
Well, if he bets 2 or whatever, we could think about it.
Yeah, we do. We do actually roll for it on a river. If he does
more
this
than
kind
India.
if he does this kind of small bet thing, which he did. It's amazing how these guys are getting away with that stuff. Like, the data never supports it, but people always talk themselves into weird folds.
I feel like the regs have started min betting on Bovada lately. I don't know if it's reg bot. It's like good players that are like their C bet is min very frequently
Probably is a new variation of bot.
on the flop. That's something I'm seeing now. And then the $2.01 open.
Yeah, I saw the guy at 2.5, so he's almost certainly a bot of some form.
Oh, you've been playing?
I played a little bit. I can't speak to a ton of volume, but I did see him and I thought about you. I mean, you can see these where they're just like the smaller bets are oftentimes bluffs. Okay, so what do I need to get
Like
done
that's
out of this?
the threshold thing. It makes sense. It's just visually, like putting things along the line is obviously what I'm screwing up. Like, you know,
So I mean, just practically here, do you want to build an Anki card for it as an example? You don't have to.
maybe an Anki card for rudimentarily doing it. Hold on, let's see.
I mean, I'm going to switch this up because, quite frankly, the 3/4 pot's the bot exploit here, and you probably should just min raise it every time you see it. So let's look at the one that's a little bit. There's the actual threshold, which is why we're betting.
Because it's like some bluffs just make money as a bluff, and so.
Yeah, I mean that's the that's the
And then
big
some
that's
bluff
the big
catchers
sign.
some bluff catchers just make money as a bluff catcher. So you call all the time, like that 9-4 suited hand I sent you, where I check raised 3-bet the flop or however it went, and then wait, did I get check raised and then I 3-bet something like that, and then turn paired the board, check, all the draws all missed, and the dude overbet jammed, and I folded like top and bottom pair. That hand was just a 100% call, and I had rolled for that one actually. But yeah, it would have been like not threshold. It would have been like before the threshold.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So
Like I need to figure out which hand does sit at threshold, and that's where I'm flipping, and then the other ones like the 9-4, I need to just always call. But that 9-4 is like really obvious. Other hands aren't so obvious.
No, and there's going to be a lot of them just at the threshold usually. Yeah, there's two sides of this, right? We've got like the call side and we've got the bluff side. And truthfully, when I look at your stuff, I mean, I kind of back tested your calls here, Eric. I was like, okay, were the calls bad or good, right? And they didn't seem to be inordinately terrible in these notes. Like it didn't seem like your folds were you were getting bluffed a bunch on your folds. So like if I wander through this stuff, like you just weren't getting like a ton of crazy bluffs in these spots. And so I wasn't necessarily as worried about your
Bluff
river
catching.
folds and your bluff catching. I was more worried about your bluffs because what came out of this was caller out of position. Like this node's like this is where you check call flop and then you lead river. Like these guys are folding 65% of the time to your bet. And your average bet size is like 3/4 pot. So
they're over folding.
Yeah, so they're overfolding significantly, right? And so basically, like the exploitative number here is, remember the threshold at GTO where there was those bluffs were profitable against a GTO strategy.
Mm-hmm.
They're really, really profitable against an overfold strategy.
Yeah,
So like
King 5.
so like this King 5 hand that like GTO thought was worth a big blind here might have been worth 3 big blinds in practice or 4. And so that check fold there ends up actually being pretty expensive because you basically cost yourself 3 big blinds of win rate. And we know versus equilibrium, you cost yourself at least 1 big blind worth of win rate. And so you put those things together, like we really want to work on the bluffing side of this. And I know I've been kind of a little bit all over the place with this, but like this was kind of the original start of this conversation back a couple of days, right?
Yeah.
I was watching Minnesota self-destruct against the.
And then
against-
here I should have just, how come I'm not naturally just going, okay, I should overbet Chamo, and maybe I'm thinking I should bet the cheapest amount. If it's inelastic, his response to bet size, but that's probably not true.
I mean the sound clip here, and maybe it's buried in another video somewhere, Eric. Now you've got me worried. I'm just running in circles up the stone, down up the hill with the stone, down the stone with the hill. The soundbite here is basically like if you look at any sort of fold curve based on your opponents, they tend to make the biggest mistakes against the bigger bets. So if I go ahead and I look here about the field here, them calling river, and maybe we don't have enough data for it. Maybe we just need every river fold. If you look at the data, what you see is the normal bets get called about right. And as the bets get bigger and bigger, it looks like they can get farther and farther away from what the correct frequency is. And so from an exploitative standpoint, I mean, bigger is probably always better in these spots if you can rep a big hand. And I think on this type of board, like Ace-Jack is a pretty damn common combo for you. And I think King-Jack is a pretty damn common combo for you. I think Queen-10's a fairly common combo for you too.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm not that scared to jam. And truthfully, if you look at the solver, Ace-Queen probably jams here too. Because one of the things that came out of the solver play was guys are actually too tight in these spots because you can bet more often here and still get equal value between the two notes. But I don't know how to convince you not to be scared here. Because when you sent me this, you're just like, I'm scared. I mean, that's what it felt like, at least.
Nothing's working. No bluff ever works. Look, here's another one. It didn't work. Like, where I'm just like,